is Wednesday night of the final week, and I'm stressing more than ever. Last night I glued in 2 parts of the 4-part inlay piece, and we'll be kind of cleaning that up and doing the other side tonight. And I have some pieces of that left. So that'll be one of the main things I'm doing tonight. But we'll also be cleaning these up, cleaning these edges, as well as routing the back of those. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up the legs with the banding. So what I'm going to do is clean up both sides of this, clean up this other side with the hand plane, trim off this side, and I'll just cut triangles out of it. So I need 4 triangles, and then I'll notch out a little bit of the inside to allow for the wood that's in there, because, you know, obviously the wood's in the way. So I'll notch some of that out, and that should give me plenty of room when I sculpt these legs. Okay, so cut this piece, and it just fits in there. And then when everything and just glue that in, and when it's done I'll trim it up nice and flush, and we'll have a nice little inlay on that leg. Okay, so I'm going to trim most of that off with the bandsaw, and then I'm going to flush it up with block plane. Okay, one of these sides has a little bit of end grain, and that's just the way I put them in there. So I want to clean that up first. And I'm going to try to work from both sides to kind of keep from pulling out. Nice and flush. There's saw marks here, so I'm trying to clean them up as quickly as possible. A little scared there. Not too bad. Keep going. I'll clean these up, and then we'll head over to the router table. So I'm going to go ahead and round over all the sides of this. Here is, yeah, there is the line, but the curve helps hide that line. So I'll have to say that looks like a pretty good leg. I'm pleased. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other 3 same way. And then when I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and route, or not route, but carve this piece here. And I think it'll add a nice, interesting touch to it. So basically what I did is I created this little, I don't know, template thing, or a little thing to just hold this leg. On its edge like this. Which will allow me to plane this round. Now, what I'm going to do is I want this to be somewhat rounded at the bottom. So let me just kind of show you what I'm talking about. That's hard to see. But I want to round over that edge. Kind of a taper to a round over. And this is the inside. So all the inside edges will kind of have a rounded area. So what I need to do is I'm going to go and start taking away material. And how I'm going to do that is with this block plane. Okay, and I'll just keep taking away. kind of equally. Okay, so that's pretty good. So what I'm doing is I have this sponge sanding block. It's very fine. They're very fine grits. And I got this 100 grit paper just to kind of get the softness. Take off a lot, smooth up, round over. Just hit that with some 180. Okay, so there we go. All right, rounded at the bottom and a nice taper. There's the other one. Not too bad. All right, nice rounded. That'll be the inside of the leg. What I've done is I just cut a template out for the area that really needs to be routed. The bearing will ride against on my router, and I'll clear out that area. So I'm going to go out, rough it on the bandsaw, clean it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be super perfect, because it's on the back side. What I got, I actually found this at Lowe's. Seems pretty nice. It's a Milescraft router base plate and bushings. And what I'm going to use is I'll use this with the template I made to route out the backs of the aprons. Now, the backs of the aprons will be routed out for a couple reasons. As you can see on this side, right? It's set back way too far. So this will allow this inlay to come up this way and have more of a reveal like this. So I opened up the packet, and it came with these. Some sort of writing and stuff, I don't know. Okay, if I can't figure this out, then I really shouldn't be out here playing with power tools anyway. Okay, so this is the base plate on my Craftsman. My old Craftsman. Not mine, actually, it's my dad's. Don't tell him I have it. So this plate, well, I guess it's got to mount up somehow, right? You know, I'm just seeing if there's any other combo way of doing this. You don't see me doing this. In fact, I'm turning that off. Okay, I did look at the directions. Now it gives you what all the holes are. Not really sure, but what kind of routers to use it with. But this router is from the 60s, so it's not really on the list. So I just lined them up. Okay, so there we go. Okay, I'm going to put the bit in. One of these collet things just goes in. And then that'll ride up against that. Okay, that was my first attempt at a template. It didn't really work that well. I had double-sided tape, nothing to really hold it down very well. So I just freehanded it. It's on the back side, right? Kind of something like that, right? Now these will be dyed black. And then in the middle, you'll have the Paduke. Clean this edge up tomorrow. I gotta get to the point where I'm dyeing these. I didn't get a chance to try the steel wool and vinegar. I just didn't get a chance to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and try the RIT dye. And I'll have to find a way to kind of seal it. So hopefully I'll be able to try a quick test tomorrow. But I gotta get moving on that. Then I also need to fit these tenons to fit into the legs, which I'm hoping the legs are going to be all done by tonight. So that part will be done. These will need to get worked on. So today's Thursday night. I got 3 total days left. I would, really would like to be at least finishing by now, but finishing as putting on some sort of finish, not ending. But though that wouldn't be too bad either. Got a lot of work. These things, I'm carving them out at my desk at work. Okay, well, I'm going to get finishing those legs. Just kind of a recap of where we stand with 3 days left. Kind of wish I didn't do it. It's a little daunting when you spell everything out like that. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these legs up tonight. Go to bed. I'm exhausted. Working 60 hours a week and trying to get this done. Ugh. Last year I was, lost hours. I was down to 20 hours a week. It's easy to get stuff done out here. I had 4 days off a week. Now, it's different. So I just wish I got a quicker jump start on this project. I could really use another week or two, and I had it. I didn't really start this until the beginning of the month. So, okay. Till tomorrow. Well, it is Saturday around noon, and I decided to go out. I kind of needed to go out. Found out my friend's band is playing his first show. Their band's called He's Alright. Kind of like a punkish band. Hardcore punk, I guess. I don't know. They were really good. It was fun. I got to see a bunch of friends I haven't seen in a long time. So, that being said, I didn't get in the shop on Friday. So it's Saturday, noon, and I got a lot of work. So this is my mess. And I really think I need to just spend 20 minutes at the start cleaning this up to give me more of a work surface. I think that'll make my day go a lot smoother. There's shavings from the router, like piles of it, just piles of shavings and from the planes and the router and the planer or the planer. So I just need to clean up all this excess stuff, get my work surface back. I was starting to do stuff over at the router station / table saw because I was so much crap here. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and spend 20 minutes, clean up as much as I can in that 20 minutes. Where do I start? Well, there are a couple things that kind of need to be done. Still going to put this top off for a little bit. And the reason being is I need to really move on to getting the legs together. I can work on the top when the legs are glued up. So, see what I need to do for the top. Okay. These are the aprons. The back side looks like hell. Oh well, it's the back side. It's going to be the front side. These edges need to be cleaned up, and I need to see where I stand with the 8 inlays. So I have 2.5 to finish. So that's kind of where we stand at this. Now, all these edges on these have to be cleaned up, as well as these edges on those. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to finish these carvings first. Just bang them out of the way. So hopefully they won't take too long. So, plus I'll finish this one up, and then on this one I'll kind of show you what I did and how I went about doing it. So let's get moving. Here I have the basic design. What I need to do first, so I'll use the X-Acto knife for this, is I need to outline the areas that are going to get kind of cut down. And now that that's scored, I'm going to rough clean it out. Right. I'm kind of making it a little more three-dimensional. Hopefully that'll be enough to give it its added kick, right? Its added little punch when it's dyed ebony. Because I'm afraid I'll just throw it on the ground. No, I'm afraid that when it's dyed black, you're going to kind of lose some of this detail. I think it's just inevitable going to that dark color there. These areas I'm coming down, right, and I'll be accenting around the edges too to kind of give it a little depth. Now, this is the one that the little piece broke off, so I don't want to mess any of this up in here, because I want to be able to glue it back together. And I think how I'm going to glue it, probably will just use some super glue. It'd probably carve better if I had carving tools. I should probably invest in some. I enjoy this carving. I just wish I had time to do it. And this is really my first into carving. Actually, no. I did do, this was my first endeavor into carving. It's lattice work. I was really proud of it. Looking at it, it looks kind of bad. But I did it in oak. Oak's a hard wood to carve. I bet you if I did it in this maple, it'd look a lot better. But that was my first hit. Did nothing with a chisel. That's all I had. That was just one of those days I was just out here putzing. So then I did the routing carving, and that is on the media center table now at my wife's school. Then I will come in with a knife and kind of bevel these edges because I want to round them over more. So you got to keep in mind grain direction. I think that's the biggest key. You want to go with the grain and not cut into it. You kind of want to go on the down slope on curves. And then I'll go in with a rasp. Round it over. And then come in with some sandpaper. So, basically it. And then I'll just work through. By the time they're done, 3D sort of effect. This one needs a little more sanding, but you can kind of see it. Okay? So that's it. The battery's about to run out on the camera, that's why I'm kind of rushing here. So I'll go finish that. I got this one to finish up and one more to do. Sand them over real quick, and then we'll move on to the aprons.